Hi guys, today I wanted to talk about being present and more productive by spending less time on our phones. So who made a goal to spend less time on their phone this year? Or who made a goal to spend less time on social media this year? I did. This has actually been one of my goals for the past 3 years. I started YouTube in August of 2013, and obviously New Year's was just a few months later. So ever since I started YouTube, I knew that I had to really watch it with how much time I was on my phone checking social media. And I do well sometimes, and then there are other times when I feel like I am just constantly checking, and the more I post, the more comments I get, and I love reading comments and I just want to read them. And I've gotten to know different people, so I have different people I'm following, and it's just so tempting to always be looking at what people post on Instagram or the comments they get, or who posted what on Facebook. And it's all pretty much good. Nothing is really wrong with it, and it's helpful and it's fun, but it can really take up a lot of our time, and it also can take away time from our families. So I just wanted to basically do this video chat style and talk to you about some things that I have thought about and some things that are working well for me. So obviously I'm a YouTuber, so I spend time recording videos and editing and uploading and everything. So I am on my computer quite a bit. I do need to read my comments, and I post on Instagram, and I do read the comments on there. So I know I definitely can't give it up or anything, but I just need to make sure that I'm still being the mom that I want to be to my children. I'm still being present with my husband, and I'm enjoying life, and I'm enjoying other things besides always looking at YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or reading my emails or whatever. So basically my main idea was for my family, but I've also noticed that sometimes I can spend too much time reading comments or scrolling through Instagram or whatever, and it starts to creep in to I'm not spending enough time getting the things done that I need to. And I'm not necessarily saying like cleaning up the house or anything, but I'm doing all these projects around here, like decorating and home renovation type of things. And the more time I spend looking at my phone and on social media, the less time I have to finish up some of those other things. So it does play a part in being productive as well. So I have moments when I know that I have been checking my phone too much, and I really try to make sure that when my kids come in the room or my husband comes in the room that I put my phone down and just listen to them and give them eye contact. So that is something that I have been trying to do for a while. I'm not perfect, but if I notice that I'm starting to creep into where I'm kind of listening and looking, I will step back and try to remind myself of what my main priority is and put down my phone, give them my full attention, and realize that my children are more important than what's going on in Instagram or something. So that's one thing. I also noticed that when we moved, we live a little ways. My phone's making noises. We live a little ways from our church, and I noticed that I was checking social media on the way home from church. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I wanted to kind of reevaluate that because we're in the car, and I thought it would be so much better if we use this time for conversations. And it's not always going to be this great conversation. Sometimes people are going to be really quiet in the car, and sometimes we'll have great conversations, and that's just how life is. But I didn't want that distraction or that temptation, because what if we're in the car and my kids want to talk about something, or my husband, and I'm like scrolling through, they're less likely to start up a conversation. So I started leaving my phone at home on Sundays. I also started to not be on social media hardly at all, if not at all, on Sundays. My goal is not at all, but I was sick the past 2 Sundays, and so I was home from church and my family wasn't here. So I did post a little bit, but I've been trying to not be on social media, like Instagram and Facebook, and I haven't posted a video on Sundays in quite a while. So just giving myself a break. That's something that I've been trying to do, and we all have different lives, so there, it doesn't necessarily have to be Sunday, but I want Sundays to be focused on the Lord and what I'm learning at church and my church family and my family here. And the time in between church, I want to rest and relax and just talk to my family and enjoy them, and that has been a really great thing. So I've been doing pretty well with that. I also noticed that I really needed to kind of give myself guidelines for when I'm checking my phone and how often, because I could just say I want to be on my phone less, but what does less mean? For me, I needed specifics. So one thing I did start doing a while ago is turning off my phone at about 9:30. I wasn't perfect because some nights I couldn't sleep well, or I'd fall asleep on the couch and then I would check it, and but now I'm really, really trying to make sure I turn my phone off around like 9:30. I try for 9, but sometimes 9:30. And that has been really nice, because then I can just like hang out with my family, or if John and I are watching something, I'm done. And I do think it helps me to sleep a little bit better just by putting it up, turning everything off. I also knew that I needed to set guidelines for myself throughout the day, because I have, from the time I wake up until about 9 and 9:30, and I'm a YouTuber, and I post on Instagram and I post on Facebook as part of being on YouTube. And it would be easy for me to be on there a good portion of the day, reading comments and checking Instagram and interacting with other people and posting and everything. And there are times when I do post a lot, and there are times when I cut back, and there are times when I get a lot of comments, and there are times, I might not have a video. So I still get a lot of comments, but it's not as many. So I really needed to figure out what worked best for me and try to give myself some guidelines. And I know you all aren't YouTubers, or you might not have a blog or something, so you might just have your personal page or whatever, but maybe you can just kind of get some ideas if this is something that you're working on. So for me, I had to break it down and give myself an hour of social media time. And I realized that that wasn't really enough when I post a video. I didn't have enough time to read all of the comments in just 1 hour a day. So I think what I will do, I'm still kind of fine-tuning this, I think I'll give myself an additional half an hour, because I'm a YouTuber, because I try to reply to as many comments as I can. And the days that I post videos, I think I'm going to do an extra half an hour. But basically, I had to give myself like 15-minute segments, and 15 minutes, it seems like such a short amount of time, and I've shared, you can get so much done in 15 minutes around your house, anywhere. It's amazing what you can get done if you're really thinking purposefully. You can really get a lot done. So that 15 minutes, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to waste my time. I want to read my comments. I want to post on Instagram. Sometimes I'll have my picture all set. Sometimes I just can't do it with it's too dark in our house when I think about it or something. But because I'm a YouTuber, a lot of my posts are going along with YouTube. So it's kind of part of my job, I guess. But I am like, all right, I have 15 minutes. I want to read my comments. I want to, use the most of my time so I don't get sidetracked. You know how it is. You check Instagram and you're like, la 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 la, and it reminds you of something else. You're like, oh, I like how that person decorated that side table. Let me look and see if I can find something like that. And then you're on different websites, or at least that's what I do. Or you're on Facebook and someone like posts a blog post or something and it's about some topic and you start reading this really long blog post and then it makes you think about other things and you're just on there. It's just like, it's awesome. I love social media, but it can really suck you in. So 15 minutes, I can look at everything I need to, and I just really use that time. Just like if I was doing my cleaning routine, I just get on there and check it and scroll through. So I do that 4 different times during the day, and that seems to work out really well for me. But when I post a video, that's not enough time to get to as many comments as I can. But I think on the days that I post videos, an hour and a half is a good amount of time, because I do try to reply to as many people as I can, but I also know that I can't reply to everyone, and I've like gotten over that, because when I first started, I replied to everyone, and then when I hit about 20,000 subscribers, I just couldn't, and we were working on our house and everything, and I just didn't have enough time. And now sometimes I still find myself feeling guilty, and I try really hard, but I also know that if I was on YouTube all day, or Instagram or Facebook replying to everyone, I wouldn't have time to make videos. I wouldn't have anything to make videos about, because my house would be a mess and I wouldn't be being creative in the kitchen and all of those things. So I feel like an hour and a half of scrolling through, reading comments, sometimes I do check, what other people post on Instagram during that time, but I think that's a good amount of time. That doesn't include, recording and editing and all of that. So part of it for me was not feeling guilty, and that might not necessarily apply to you if you aren't a blogger or a vlogger, but just making sure I do have the time to spend with my family. I'm getting things done that I need to, house projects and graduation party and all of that, and I'm enjoying life. We have this beautiful view, and instead of sitting at the table eating breakfast or lunch and scrolling through my phone the whole time, I should be watching the little bunnies running by and watching the birds and just enjoying the nature. That's one of the reasons why we moved here, not so I could be on my phone the whole time. I wanted to just briefly talk about when I watch YouTube videos, because for you, if you aren't a YouTuber or a blogger, you might think an hour, hour and a half, that is plenty of time to watch, your favorite YouTubers, scroll through Instagram and Facebook and whatnot, and it really is enough time. But for me, I'm spending that time reading my comments and replying, and that doesn't really leave any time to watch YouTube. And because I'm a YouTuber, I like to watch YouTube just for personal viewing purposes, but also because I'm a YouTuber, I think part of it is being part of the community and getting to know other YouTubers, and I have people who I consider friends, and I want to see what's going on in their lives. But I also know that I can't watch everyone. I can't spend hours every day watching YouTube videos, and I like to be productive, and I like to try to motivate you guys, and if I'm not being productive myself, then what am I going to make videos about? And if I don't give myself time to be creative in the kitchen, I'm not going to be creating recipes, and then you guys wouldn't like me very much and you wouldn't watch my videos. So what works for me, because I spend that hour and a half replying to comments and scrolling through Instagram and reading comments there and posting as part of being on YouTube, I have the time when I'm getting ready, putting my makeup on and doing my hair. Now that I'm done watching Gilmore Girls, I will watch videos during that time. I'm just sitting there anyway. I know a lot of people watch videos while they're folding laundry or doing dishes or nursing their babies, things like that. So I think that's great. And obviously, I don't think there's anything wrong with watching YouTube videos or scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or reading blogs or any of that. I love it. I think it's can be such an encouragement. You get to know all of these different people and find new tips and new recipes and all of that. But I know that we still need to be present in our lives with our family and enjoying our lives and just looking around us and, you know, be present and be productive. So I just wanted to share what I have found that has been working so far for me. I would love to hear your tips. I know that a lot of people really like reading through comments on videos like this because lots of people have different lives, especially those of you who aren't YouTubers and bloggers, but maybe you really like watching videos and you really like scrolling through Instagram, and I want to know what works for you, and I know other people would want to hear what works for you. So leave your comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure I get part of that YouTube watching time. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.